Hello and welcome to another edition of BuzzFeed Unsolved Postmortem, a show where we answer your most pressing questions about the most recent episode of BuzzFeed Unsolved, which was the Axeman. All the questions we're answering today came from you guys via our social media accounts and our BuzzFeed Unsolved Facebook page. You can see all the links for that here. They probably already showed. How are you feeling about this one?
Oh, it was titillating, right? That was good.
I'm just smiling because we got past that part.
Oh shit, I forgot.
No, let's move on.
God.
All right. Win. Actually, before we start, we did get a nice gift from our post coordinator.
Oh, we did.
A lot of you pointed this out too after we pointed it out in the episode.
We received many comments about the fact that there were true crime trading cards.
Yeah.
So our wonderful post coordinator, he got us this nice gift.
It's true crime serial killer trading cards, as mentioned in the Axeman episode.
What do you got?
Look, there's a checklist. You can collect the whole set. Oh my God.
Right off the bat, someone
First
good?
card.
Oh shit.
Axeman of New Orleans.
Perfect.
Oh my God, they got little stats on the back.
How many kills?
This feels wrong, but right at the same time, right?
Well, thank you for all the notifications about those. We know they exist.
And with that, let's begin.
I'm the Count. Here's from Instagram from ILikeFish8377. What if Esther Pepitone was the Axeman?
Oh shit. There's no head turn in the question. He did that on his own. That was impromptu.
Or Axewoman. She killed Mumfrey because he was the witness to the murder of Mike Pepitone. That's the only evidence I got, so I have a 90% chance of being wrong. Well, at least they admit. This is a dumb theory, so ignore it if you want to. We're not gonna. Yeah,
we did it. We did the opposite of that. We featured it. It was the first question of the episode.
Holy shit.
She thinks that Esther Pepitone is actually the Axeman. I will admit there are some things about Esther's story that strike me as odd.
They're fishy.
She saw two people at the scene of the crime in the original killing of her husband, Mike Pepitone, and she stuck to that in her story to the cops.
Yes.
Fast forward to a couple years later, her new husband goes missing, and she blames it on this Joseph Mumfrey character and conveniently says that he's the Axeman, that's why she shot him to death. But glosses over the fact that there were two people at the scene of the crime at her former location.
It's all very convenient.
Maybe she just needed an explanation for shooting someone in the face, and she isn't the Axeman. I think maybe she just murdered somebody.
Yeah, because shooting someone in the face, as soon as that happens, you sort of have to...
Now I got a bit of a mess in my hands, literally.
Ugh, Jesus.
And I gotta sweep it up. So maybe...
You probably mop that up.
Fair. Swiffer it at the very least.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of that this season, folks.
This one is also from Instagram. This is from HPYM2101.
Catchy.
That's like a stormtrooper name.
Yeah.
I have a theory that the Axeman killed the Lizzie Borden family, then fled to New Orleans due to some similarities. Or Lizzie Borden is the Axewoman. Just kidding, but what if? By the way, you guys are great as usual. Thank you. Thank you, appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you. Fun. Someone's having fun with it.
I feel like people start to think of serial killers as they would the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, like H.H. Holmes is sort of like he's like the Tony Stark, and he meets a young Charles Manson, and is like,
yeah.
I'm gonna train you.
And then Jack the Ripper, who's old at this time, is the new Nick Fury, and he's gathering them all together in his lair.
In a compound in upstate New York.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the case. But maybe oh shit, now I'm going back. Maybe the Axeman did kill the Borden family. No.
Like he just was like on vacation. He was like, a quick one while I'm up in Massachusetts.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's a question from Facebook from Rachel Merritt. How did the Axeman cut a section out of people's doors without them hearing? And wouldn't the section be too small to fit a large man? Also, why did the Axeman stop doing this? Well, there was the insane theory that he shrunk down to the size of a little ant.
That's one of the weirdest details of this case, that the bottom panel of a door was knocked out consistently. I don't understand why he did that.
He did that every time?
He just kicked it out.
That's how he got in? It's not quite as threatening to imagine like a guy like trying to
doggy door his way into a crime scene. I think
in Home Alone.
I mean, this guy was obviously into theatrics, so maybe it was just one more calling card to let people know. This one is also from the Unsolved Facebook page. It is it possible that the Axeman really enjoyed Italian grocery stores, and anytime he felt wronged by one of the grocers, they became his next target?
So this would be like if anytime I was at Whole Foods nowadays, and someone gave me a snide remark or wasn't...
Then you murder them.
Yeah, just follow them home, see if they have a nice corner lot, and break in their door and bash their brains in.
Yeah, I guess. The Axeman seems to have very strong opinions, and he is very willing to enforce them.
By enforce, you mean...
Like, kill people.
Yeah.
I mean, he loved jazz so much, he threatened to kill an entire community. So it wouldn't surprise me if these were all just people that slighted him at grocery stores, to be honest.
Here's another one from the Gram. From Mysteriosity. My theory is that Axeman was multiple people and that the crimes committed were some sort of gang or mafia initiation.
Plausible.
Plausible.
Very plausible, yeah. I think
I almost jinxed you on that. I was gonna say plausible.
We could have both stamped it at the same time. Plausible, yeah. This one is also from Instagram. This comes from Peyton Bays. The letter could have been anyone, don't you think? Like they may have done it as a joke. I definitely think this was done by a human. I agree that it was done by a human.
I think so too.
What?
Well, of course it was done by a human. What do you think, a ghost sat down at a typewriter? A ghost can barely lift a tube of toothpaste as far as we're concerned. It's not hacking out of the, ooh, I gotta go buy some stamps at the grocery store. I guess I'll just lift them out of there. Hey, there's stamps flying through the grocery store. That's strange. Must be a ghost mailing a letter to the Picayune. From @Scandalous. Wait, how did Anna Lowe accuse her husband of being a Nazi spy when the Nazi party only became active in Germany in 1920?
Yeah.
I didn't mean to drop my phone dramatically.
Yeah, was that like a...
my hand just stopped working.
Good point. The Nazis didn't officially exist until, you said, 1918?
I think there was like a precursor party in the 18s.
Our research says that she said that, so either she's full of baloney, or...
When did she say that? Was it post, was it after 1920?
This was in the investigation, so it's either 1918, 1919 when she said that.
Oh, weird.
Obviously, there was a German spy ring around that time.
Yeah.
And that's why they suspected him, because they found the letters, they were written in Yiddish.
Or maybe she just had the vision and was like, there are going to be
Like
Nazis.
she was like a psychic?
Yeah.
Of some sort?
Just trying to warn the world about Nazis.
The last question we have here, I've been getting this a lot. This comes from Instagram, from So Elaine? How would you say that?
So Elaine.
So Elaine.
So Elaine. E.
Oh, so Elaine.
What's the question?
It says, are we still Bugaras? Or are you gonna change it again? Hashtag Bugaras, hashtag Ryantists, and possibly we could have even included a hashtag Rhinosaurs there. That's a lot of names.
Yeah, I feel sorry for your crowd. You know, us Shaniacs, we've been
been
there since day one.
That's because your nickname was created as an accident. It wasn't created like, I need a nickname. I had to like think of a name, which was, I feel like, much harder, much more pressure on me, obviously.
Yeah, a lot of pressure.
Fuck you. I personally think Bugaras is the best one.
It's a good one, it's the best one.
It does make me giggle.
Especially if you say it, Bugaras. Like,
Bugara.
Bugaras. It's better than Ryantists, which is,
Ryantists was pointed out to me that it sounds too much like Ryan Tits. Bugaras, that's the answer to that question.
Shaniacs, you don't have to deal with any of this.
Oh my God.
You're welcome.
I think that's it.
Yeah, but you know, hey, buckle up. Got a whole season coming your way,
Oh
huh?
yeah, the next episode.
Oh shit!
Next is about an unfortunate thing with the box.
It may or may not involve John Travolta.
Definitely doesn't. I promise you that. That's a red herring for sure. That has nothing to do with the episode.
You never know.
Okay. We'll see all of you guys next time on the next BuzzFeed Unsolved Postmortem after the episode airs on Friday. Make sure to ask your questions at the BuzzFeed Unsolved Facebook page. You'll see a post there to ask the question, so that information is right here.
And here comes Axeman Santa. Here he goes. Whoa!
At least you had the courtesy of citing a creature we already created.
That's
so
true. What a jolly guy.
I mean, super dumb. Was that him crashing into the wall? I heard a crash from the right side.
I don't know what that was.